and share a pretty cool story with all of you from a quite intelligent individual, and appreciate that you sent this video. I'm sure you're watching. But anyway, it was a fairly uneventful solo trip. The place is virtually deserted when I got there. You know, when I was there a couple weeks ago, there was a pile of people hunting around there. I didn't see a soul. And again, I'm sure you listened to one of those stories mailed in by now. There's one about that guy with his dog named Bucky, and they went to Moberly Lake and camped at that trailhead, and that thing came and slapped the side of his van. Well, it's funny, coincidentally, that's where I went, and I screenshot where I was yesterday. Oh, actually, the day before yesterday, I screenshot where I was, and you can have a look at it here. And didn't feel odd, didn't feel alarming being around there solo. First night there, 3 trees definitely fell over in the timber. Whatever, it is what it is. There's a lot of hardwoods there. There's been a lot of rain and freeze, and trees normally do fall down. One odd thing the first night, though, was if you've ever heard a grouse beat its chest with its wings, it kind of sounds like in the distance, whoop, 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 like that, right? Well, this silly grouse, he beat his wings virtually all night long in the timber across the cut from camp. It's kind of bizarre. I'm sure all of you familiar with game birds know that game birds roost at night, and I've never heard a grouse beat his chest in the middle of the night before in my life, but it's kind of interesting. Was it something mimicking it? Who knows? I don't know. It wasn't alarming to me, and I wasn't about to get up in my underwear with my flashlight and go find out why the grouse is beating his chest all night long. But it's kind of funny, though, laying there. Then, of course, I had to wake up at something like 2 in the morning, go for a pee. Got out of the tent, and sure enough, boop, 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 boop. Off it goes again. You know, and it didn't stop. But anyway, I got a story here I'm going to share with all you guys. And I saved it onto my phone. What I do is I crack open the email. Obviously, there's no internet service where I am right here. When I have a break and I crack open the how to hunt, tell my story, howtohunt.com email address, and then I sift through, and I found it, and then I press copy, and then I paste it to a text message to myself, and I text it to myself, and then I'll be able to read it in the middle of nowhere like I am right now. So here we go. This person requested to have the place of employment, the name of the place, remain anonymous as well, their name, because they have a high security clearance at their place of employment. So here we go. I'll try to blank out as I go so I don't, sadly, cause any crap for this guy and his place of employment, which is the United States Navy. Hello, thank you for reading about this account. It took place September 2005 on the blank blank base in California. Please do not use the name of the base. You can say Navy base in California if you wish. I also ask that you please not use my name. I still work at the naval base and I have high security clearance. Some background about me. I have a wife and kids, including 4 grandchildren. I'm a naval civilian engineer and employed directly with the U.S. government. I've worked on this naval installation as a project program manager for over 32 years, and I'm an avid outdoorsman and hate spin and BS. Well, we got something in common there, don't we? I like your no-nonsense attitude about BS, and that is why I'm sharing this with you, and not one of the tree-knocking idiots you see on the web and TV shows. I just want to share this so you know I'm not some shell proc living in his mom's basement seeking attention. Actually, I want 0 attention, but felt this event should be shared. I'm going to put on my readers. This is getting a little challenging, especially with it getting dark out rapidly here. This may be lengthy to get the detail it deserves. The Naval Base is a research and development facility that tests air and sea launched weapon systems, including aircraft development. This Navy base is surrounded by several mountain ranges. Please look if you wish. In September 2005, I was supporting operations for the then new in development Joint Direct Attack Munition (JDAM) weapon platform. These tests were conducted on a bombing range called the Bombing Range. I can't say the name. Now, to be very clear, I did not see firsthand what took place. I was monitoring secure military radio transmission during this operation and listened to these events unfolding. Afterwards, I spoke directly to 3 of the 4 eyewitnesses, all government personnel, all with high security clearances. There were approximately 40 to 50 individuals involved with this test and heard what took place. The test consisted of an F-18 night attack aircraft to drop a single JDAM on a target close to the middle of the lake bed. The target was an old shot-up military tank at the target center. As reference, these types of tests will include tracking radar with support personnel, very-powered infrared tracking cameras with support personnel. Typically one to track the aircraft during the flight and one to track the bomb in flight after the release from the aircraft onto impact or target. Safety personnel, communication personnel, road guard personnel, portable power personnel, and stationary high-speed impact cameras with remote operation personnel. Depending on the test engineer, more tracking cameras and additional resources can be utilized. You get the picture. I was supporting one of the powerful infrared cameras that I had mentioned earlier, approximately 1.5 miles away from target center as the crow flies, listening to the radio communication between the aircraft and operations personnel in the control center. By this time it was close to 10 p.m. on a moonless night. The test was underway and the aircraft was performing practice runs on the target. This helps to calibrate systems and checks before dropping the item, the bomb. After several practice runs, the pilot requested permission to master the arm system and for clearance to go hot, to drop the payload, the bomb. He was cleared to do so by the control center, and the test or drop was about to go underway. As the aircraft was inbound, cleared and ready to drop the weapon, an urgent announcement sounded over the radio. Abort the drop, abort, abort, abort. Someone is in the impact area. So the aircraft was commanded to secure the weapon and not drop. Understand that to abort an aircraft cleared inbound hot run is a big deal. To have someone in a military bombing range during a weapon drop is a very big deal. Please keep in mind it is pitch black in the middle of the desert. No moon, a very low lake bed surrounded by mountains with no light pollution of any kind. It would be extremely difficult to see your hand directly in front of your face. The ground is littered with shrapnel and impact craters. It would be impossible to run through this area in the dark night without any lights. What was witnessed by the 4 stationary, high-resolution infrared thermo night vision impact cameras was an extremely large individual pass in front of and between the cameras. Plain as day, very clear without obstruction. Each camera had its own operator to record the weapon impact. The main operator was the individual that sounded the abort command. The calculated height of this individual was 9 foot 2 inches. I have no idea how they got that estimate. Things went higher from there. Several personnel were dispatched into the impact area to look at this individual. There was a lot of radio traffic to see whom could have walked right into a weapon test 25 miles from civilization on the largest secure Navy base in the country, in the middle of night without lights. At this time I tried to convince the aircraft tracking camera operator to drop coverage of the F-18 and swing down to the impact area. He refused for several minutes. It was not until the control center told him to drop track of the plane and look down into the impact area. By this time it was too late. Whoever or whatever it was could not be seen. This is no surprise. There are several canyons in the area and many old military vehicles, aircraft, and even a ship that someone or something could have hid or used as cover. However, all we could see were jackrabbits and a couple coyotes. This incident was quickly dropped and never spoken about. I could go into detail about the camera operator saw a massive man about 9 feet tall with arms that hung low and walked right through a military exercise that appeared to be covered in hair. I was never asked to write an incident report, and to my knowledge no one else did either. Very strange, even though a major test was aborted and an individual was witnessed entering into a secure Navy facility, recorded by 4 separate government personnel utilizing 4 separate cameras. Do with this event as you may. To be honest, I do not care if listeners take this serious or not. I was there with about 50 other government employees listening to what took place with 4 eyewitnesses. I'm not trying to convince anyone, but this event truly happened. Thanks, man. Love the No BS show. John Doe. Well, there you go. There's another one. All right, and from someone of a credible position in the military. And yeah, another one just is what it is. You know, what are you going to say about that? Nobody was there. And for all of you people that don't trust people, I want you to think about this one. Do you know and realize how much of a lunatic you would need to be to wake up in the morning and go, gee, I wonder what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to email howtohunt.com anonymously and make up a bullshit story that I was in the Naval Air Force base and a 9'2" hairy creature ran across in front of infrared cameras that I didn't use, but it happened. And then I'm going to email it to him and see if he tells my story on YouTube. Do you realize just how much energy that would take and how much of an absolute ass you would need to be in the first place? You know what I mean? But anyway, aside from that, you know, it's funny. A lot of you people are asking me a lot of the similar questions. You know, you're asking me, what do I think of so and so? What do I think of so and so? Individuals in the Bigfoot or Sasquatch communities, and I'll tell you what, I avoid all those people like the plague. I'll admit I have unfortunately allowed myself to dive into a couple videos in the past. Can't get that time back, and you know, all you see is these people squabbling amongst each other, insulting each other, calling each other down, asking for money, creating the most embarrassing, cringe-worthy hoax videos, you know, and it's so hard not to join them in running some of these individuals into the ground or attacking them. It's so hard. And I'm sure every one of them, their heart is in the right place, their intent is for the good, but unfortunately the majority of these people are just discrediting themselves in this topic so fiercely. It's so cringeworthy, it's ridiculous. You know, I seen one guy, his opening video shows him in a ghillie suit in the middle of a river, and claiming to be how stealthy he is. I'm sorry, but come on, you're coming from a true professional hunter as myself. Stealthy is not a human form in a ghillie suit in the middle of a crystal clear river. Okay, here I go. Sorry, I got off track there.